Okay, I promise I won't go through the freaking wage gap bullshit again. If you've listened to this channel and you know, millions of other people who have done videos on this, you already know it's a big pile of bullshit for the most part. But that doesn't stop the Democrats, does it? Here's a headline in CBS News, and listen carefully to how they phrase this. Democrats introduce equal pay legislation 10 years after passing the first Fair Pay Act. Well, you'd think just 10 years ago, wouldn't you, that, you know, the government finally woke the f*** up and said, you know what, them women's, they ain't getting paid the same as men's. President Obama, can you sign this Fair Pay Act? Of course, the women's. We got to have their vote. As we all know, the Equal Pay Act of 1963, not 2009, people, makes it illegal to pay somebody differently based on their gender or their race or whatever, doing the same job. So if it's a different job, they can be paid differently or different experience and whatever. We all freaking know this. But that doesn't stop Nancy Pelosi and her gang in Congress. Look at the picture. Look at all these women. Paycheck Fairness Act. Men and women, same job, same pay. Oh, you mean like the federal law that's been in effect since 1963? What the f*** is wrong with these people? House Democrats were joined by Lilly Ledbetter, which was the actual act passed by Congress in 2009 and signed by President Obama, which essentially says if there is a claim for unequal pay, they extended the time frame on which one could file a complaint. I believe that's essentially what it didn't do anything about fair pay. I mean, Jesus, God almighty. At least they say here, the new Paycheck Fairness Act would close loopholes in the 1963 Equal Pay Act. Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act, which overturned a Supreme Court decision that restricted the time period for filing complaints of employment discrimination, was signed in 2009. The Paycheck Fairness Act, which is sponsored by Representative Rosa DeLauro, a Democrat, and Senator Dianne Feinstein from California, addresses modern-day salary imbalances between men and women, which can be exacerbated when women are unaware of their male co-workers' salaries. Representative Alexandria Cortez-Ortezio, whatever her name is, said while introducing the bill that women could use a Google Sheet to share salaries. Ocasio-Cortez, a progressive socialist and the most famous new member of Congress for whatever reason, added that equal pay was a generational issue. Let's just break it down here. No bullshit has a video. Bernie Sanders is getting in on it too. Gee, I'm surprised the usual suspects are showing up to perpetuate a myth that has been debunked 10 million freaking times already. In case you haven't heard, the average numbers that you will be hearing shortly are averages. They don't compare job to job. When you compare job to job, men and women are paid, if not exactly the same. In some cases, women get paid a little more, women get paid a little less, but it is almost parity. There's a new study out from Harvard that says the differences can be explained by hours worked. I'll link that below for you in case you want to see some facts on it. So here's Bernie Sanders' tweet. For every white male dollar, the benchmark, the white man, Asian American women earn 77 cents or 87 cents. White women, 79. Oh, now it's up to 79 cents. Black women, 63. Native American women, 58. Latina women, 54. Pay equity among men and women should be by law. Well, it is since 1963, you donut head. My God, people. Do you notice any ethnic or racial group that isn't included in these statistics? Did you notice one? Asian men. I wonder why Bernie Sanders didn't include Asian men, because they make more than everybody. You can almost hear their brain hamsters. What do we do with them? Well, just ignore that. Just ignore that part. Nobody will know. Yeah, just ignore that particular disparity because of reasons. So I did a little work for you here. I know it's early Saturday morning and I should be sleeping or drinking beer. I haven't decided yet. Members of Congress, where these bills are being introduced, what does Ocasio-Cortez make? Well, $174,000 a year. So we are to believe that a male member of Congress makes 30% more than that, or about $200,000. Is that right? Is that right? After all, we are told women in this country, all of them only earn 79% or whatever of what men do. However, isn't it interesting, in Congress, there isn't a separate pay scale for males and females, or gays, or straights, or whites, or blacks. They all make $174,000 a year. But Nancy Pelosi and her gang would like you to believe that since she is a woman, she was making like $133,000 a year because she's female. You know, the men just make that much more, even in Congress. It's bullshit. Do you understand that? Now, check this out. The Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, is the Speaker of the House. That's a very important position. I think she's third in line for the presidency, if I'm not mistaken. Nancy Pelosi makes $223,500. Wait a minute. Why is she making more than $174,000? She's just a congressperson. She's doing the same work. Why should she get paid more? Do you see how their argument falls apart when you compare two different freaking jobs? The president makes $400,000. Vice president, $230,700. Different jobs get different pay. How many times do we have to say this? If this wage gap bullshit were real, female congresspeople would be making $133,000 compared to the white men. Of course, black men would be making like half of that because it's rampant, this wage gap, and we all know it's crap. I'll put all the stats below so you can look it up yourself. And if you happen to still believe in this myth, maybe you're a feminist or maybe you're just, retarded, please, in the comment section, explain to me and make me understand where you are coming from, where you can't see facts in front of your face right there, and you still believe in some myth. James Maxwell, thank you for listening.